All right, I'm calling the Village of Cross Plains Joint Review Board meeting of September 17, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Adam Gallagher, Dane County.
Present.
Jared Rossing, Middleton Cross Plains Area School District.
Present.
Lori Grigg, Madison College. And Jay Langfeld, Village of Cross Plains.
Here.
Judy Kettlebaiter, member of the public. Here.
All right, we'll go to general business. Number one, approval of the meeting minutes from September 18th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from September 18th, 2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same. All right, motion passes. Number two, discussion and possible action regarding the 2024 annual report for TID number 3. Who do you want to lead this, Bobby?
I don't know. Greg, do you want to?
Yep, I will give the overview. So up on the screen is the report summary that was sent out as part of the agenda packet. So the background information on this district, TID 3, it was created in 2008. It's a rehabilitation and conservation district. The district was amended in 2011 and then again in 2013. The incremental value in this district as of January 1st of 2025 is $58,907,300. The fund balance at the end of 2024 was approximately $52,700. The final year of increment collection for this district is in 2036, if needed. The village does have some existing remaining expenditures and obligations of the district, which primarily consist of debt service payments and a developer incentive payment for the Milestone Senior Living project. So going next in the packet is a map that just shows the boundary of the TID district. So that's depicted in red, kind of, primarily encompasses kind of the downtown corridor in the village. So the next page is a history of the incremental value that's been generated in this TID district since its inception, going back to 2008. So again, as of January 1, 2025, based on construction through the end of 2024, the incremental value, again, was about $58,907,000. So in the next page, it takes that incremental value and projects, tax increment. So we show the history since the district was created, and then just kind of show if that incremental value remains flat, what that remaining increment collected would be projected from revenue year 2026 through 2036. So that all carries forward to the cash flow projection on the next page. So in terms of the revenues for this TID district, the tax increment is the primary revenue source. And then there's also some intergovernmental aids and personal property aid payments that are attributable to this TID district. And then in the expenditure column, kind of under the green heading, we show the existing debt service payments that are still outstanding for debt issues in 2014, 2015, and 2016. Then we just show some ongoing expenditures, development incentive payments, and then the transfer out is the TID district share of Safe Drinking Water Fund loan and Clean Water Fund loan debt service payments. So again, if that existing incremental value, holds, we're projecting with the increment collected in 2027, the cumulative balance will be sufficient to pay off the remaining debt service payments outstanding, and set aside funds to make those payments for any debt that isn't callable. So if the village doesn't undertake any additional expenditures within the district, 2027 closure is what we're anticipating. So that's the overview of TID number 3 and Cross Plains. I'll pause here, see if anyone has any comments or any questions.
Yes, I have a question for you. So just to help me understand, so in 2027, we close the TID. What what dollar amount would be going, once the TID is closed, does our levy limit then increase on the amount that has been the difference from when we started to when we end?
So let me kind of answer that question in kind of two parts. So
Okay.
when the TID district closes, all of the incremental value will return to the tax roll, kind of benefiting all the taxing jurisdictions, so that, you know, all that incremental value would then be in play, for example, for the village's 2028 budget the year after closure. Under levy limits, what happens is you get a one-time allowable levy limit adjustment, which gets automatically calculated on the levy limit worksheet by the DOR. And how that will work is they will take, it's a percentage. So you'll take the incremental value in the TID district at the time of closure, divide it by the village's TID out equalized value at the time of closure. That results in a percentage. And then you take half of that percentage, and then that gets applied on the levy limit worksheet as part of an adjustment that you can claim for the 2028 budget. So, you know, we'll be able to calculate that amount kind of in advance of you adopting your 2028 budget. So you kind of know what that percentage is. You get to claim that levy limit adjustment, you know, in for the 2028 budget. It's not, you know, carry forward automatically into future years. It's kind of a use it or lose it adjustment in the year following the TID closure.
Okay, and if I'm reading this chart right, in 2028, the funds that will be divided between all the taxing agencies is about 812,000.
Yeah, so you would take in 2027, you would kind of take the difference. I mean, this is an estimate, but you would take the
Sure.
difference between what's in the cumulative column and the liabilities outstanding. So that 1,642,000 number is as far as the fund balance, and then you would have liabilities of outstanding of about 1,304,827. So the difference between those two numbers, that's an estimate on what would be remaining in the fund balance of the TID district, and then that gets distributed proportionally to all the taxing jurisdictions based on their proportional share of the tax bill. So all that will be determined when you agree to terminate a TID district, which occurs by adoption of a resolution by the village board. Part of what you agree to do with the Department of Revenue is do a final TID audit, and that will ultimately determine that final payout amount. But the difference between those two numbers in the 2027 columns, that's kind of the estimate on what would be remaining.
All right, one last question. If we would leave it open through 2028, then there would be about 1.4 million then? If I'm looking,
Correct, but I mean, I guess it comes down to, you know, the question of, you know, if there's no other, if you have enough money to pay off the obligations and you're not going to incur any other expense, you're statutorily required to close the district.
oh, you are required to do it? Because I know in the city of Madison, they seem to use a couple of their TIDs as like a bank where they have quite a bit of extra revenue and they send it out. But by law, we're supposed to close it once we pay off debt.
Correct. Yeah. If you have no, I mean, the expenditure period for this district doesn't end until 2030. So if you, you know, you have the ability to undertake some additional costs, but I mean, if you're not going to do that, then, you know, it's really, there's really no reason to keep the TID district open. You would close it so you get that value back on the tax rolls.
All right, I kind of lied. I do have one more question. So that would be like a balance. What is the amount that the village will receive on an annual basis because of the increment that we're getting? I'm guessing that will go forever.
Yeah, once the incremental value returns to the tax rolls, you know, under levy limits, even though you can get that one-time levy limit adjustment just based on the amount of incremental value in this district, your, you know, even if your levy goes up, your tax rate is likely going to decrease for the 2028 budget because you're seeing so much incremental value return to the tax rolls. So once that value returns back, it's part of the village's tax base going forward. I mean, at its heart is really what a TIF district is trying to accomplish. It's to kind of increase development and taxable value within its boundaries, incurring costs to help, bring that value to fruition. But once you can pay off your obligations, all the taxing jurisdictions benefit because in theory, have more value there than you would have had absent the use of the TIF district to generate that value. And I mean, just looking at, the amount of value that you've generated, I mean, you're at almost, 59 million of value. I mean, that's a significant amount of value that's been generated since the district was created.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else have any questions? All right, do I have a motion to, accept the 2024 annual report for TID number 3?
I so move.
All
I'll
right.
second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same. So moved. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I can second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have a good evening. All right, so,
I have to be really answering your question.
yeah.